Thank you for joining today. Let us start with some zikr and Girya Azari. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ali Allah madad farma. Al-Wahidul Qahar. Ali Allah madad farma. Ya Aliyul Murtaza. فریاد رس فریاد رس نور پاک مصطفیٰ فریاد رس فریاد رس نور پاک مصطفیٰ بادشاہ فریاد رس فریاد رس تاجدار حلتا فریاد رس فریاد رس یا علی المرتضی یا علی بہت مجبور ہوں رنجور ہوں ثمرۂ پاک قیامت سے ابھی تک دور ہوں ثمرۂ پاک قیامت سے ابھی تک دور ہوں یا علی المرتضی اے شہنشاہ تجھ سے میرا حال دل پنہان نہیں اے شہنشاہ تجھ سے میرا حال دل پنہان نہیں تیری قدرت کے سوائے مشکلات آسان نہیں یا علی المرتضی یا علی اللہ بحق انبیاء فریاد رس یا علی اللہ بحق اولیاء فریاد رس اے طبیب آسمانی دل کا درمان کرتا اے حبیب عقل و جانی فضل و احسان کرتا اے حبیب عقل و جانی بندہ عاجز ہے تیرا یہ نصیر خاک سار لا فتح الا لیلا سیف الا ذوالفقار لا فتح الا لیلا سیف الا ذوالفقار یا علی المرتضی فریاد رس فریاد رس اے بادشاہ انما فریاد رس فریاد رس توفیق تائید ہمت یاری توفیق تائید ہمت یاری توفیق تائید तौफीक ताईद हिम्मत यारी, तौफीक ताईद हिम्मत यारी। अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा, मुश्किल कुशा मदद फरमा। शुक्र लिल्लाहि वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, शुक्र लिल्लाहि वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। Today we all have gathered here to understand the meaning of Shukarwari Beej. If the Chandraat is on Friday, when the Chandraat falls on Friday, we do fast. Today we will try to understand what Shukarwari Beej is. As we all fast on the Shukarwari Beej, we all need to understand the fasting too, because it is related to fasting. That's the special thing which we do when the Chandraat is on Friday, that we fast. So first we need to understand the true meaning of fasting. And when we talk of fasting, fasting is actually one of the pillars of Islam. There are 7 pillars of Islam, and the 5th pillar, which is Psalm, meaning fasting. So it is very important for us to know, being Shia Ismaili, that there are 7 pillars and not 5. The 2 commonly pillars which are forgotten are the first 2, walaya, devotion to the Imam and the authority of the Imam, and second is tahara, purification. But today we are talking about fasting. And let us review one of the farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, may our souls be sacrificed to this Imam, Rajkot, 21st October 1903. Mawla said, the haqiqi believer does not keep fast only in the month of Ramadan, but he has always 360 days for the fast. A haqiqi mu'min does not only fast for 1 month, but the whole year. Throughout the year, a true mu'min would fast. It is a fast not to injure other. It is, however, not a fast to shut the mouth and don't eat and do other immoral works of the sin. And this is an imaginary fast. Always think with care and think in such a way that no evil thoughts may create in your heart, as well as no thought comes in heart of committing jealousy for others. Meaning that no ill thoughts of any kind. Do not be sinning in your thoughts, because that's not what haqiqi mu'min does. Haqiqi mu'min fasts every day throughout the year. And then let's look into Pir Pindyat-e Jawamardi, which is a book actually, has the rank of a Pir, and that rank was given by Mawlana Imam Mustansir Billah. Imam Mustansir Billah wrote this book and gave this book the rank of Pir. Very beautiful book. I would highly recommend those who have not read this book. It is also in English, Urdu and Gujarati available. In that book, in chapter 9, Jawamardi 9, Mawla actually talks about fasting. And Mawla says the whole year you must fast, just as ordinary Muslim fasts 1 month. In other words, Mawla is saying to us that we are special Muslims. Therefore, we must fast throughout the year. The meaning of this fast is austerity, being serious, being stern, being sober. And how do we do that? And Mawla says, control yourselves. Keep yourselves away from bad qualities, evil and indecent actions, devil's acts, and polish your heart so you become a better person. All these are evil, and do not be indulging yourself into that. Stay serious, stay sober, and be a moral, ethical person. And then Mawla says that those 30 days during the Zahiri fast Mawla says that fast is actually of one single day. In reality, Mawla says that out of those 30 days fasting which Zahiri people do, they are looking for that one single day, the day when the Quran was revealed. And that day is not being known to anybody. It's a secret. It's a Rams, Mawla says, meaning secret. And then Mawla says, and just as they keep on fasting for 30 days in order to fast on that particular day. So you must, through the whole of your lives, experience difficulties and suffering for the sake of the attainment of the vision, lika, didar. Now here when Mawla says difficulty is and suffering, meaning that we have to be able to sacrifice. When we don't eat, that's a kind of sacrifice we offer to Mawla. It's our mehmani that we will not eat and will tolerate the hunger pains because we love our Imam. And in return, Mawla is giving us glad tidings that you will be given the Didar of Imam. So Mawla says during the whole your life, continue to sacrifice, to stay sober and serious so you stay on the right path. Otherwise, it is very easy for shaitan to tempt you and to make you astray. So Mawla says that you must be patient, persevering in austerities. When you have difficulties, you persevere. And keep your inner self fasting as long as you live. So it is not the outer fasting Mawla is emphasizing, but he is emphasizing the inner fasting. And then Mawla goes into detail. Remember this book as a Peer is our teacher. So this book is actually our Peer who is teaching us how to be fasting. And then Mawla is explaining, when he talked about inner fasting, Mawla actually is telling us exactly what does inner fasting means. And he says, fasting of the head means to treat one's own head with the same humility as the feet of other people. Can you imagine that? My head and your feet. Mawla says, I am supposed to be that humble. Casting out from one's head the lust of superiority, greatness and pride, because greatness and superiority are only suitable to all great substance of the truth, who is eternal, the king of the authority. Only the Imam is the authority. So it becomes very difficult when you are in a position of, in a group of people, when you have some rank, you are higher. Due to that higher rank, you are supposed to be more humble than others. Because it is very easy for shaitan to tempt us because of whatever power we have, in whatever situation we are. So we have to stay humble, focused, serious to the objective we are trying to achieve, which is to get to the Didar of the Imam. Then Mawla says fasting of the eye, meaning one must keep away from the looking at things which do not belong to you. Let it be money, people, house, clothes, whatever you want to mention. Do not be looking at others' belongings. And it is very common for people to look at others' things and compare and wish for others' things and not be content with what do they have. So it is very important to stay content and not be eyeing others' things. Let it be people, let it be things, whatever it is. Then Mawla says fasting of the ears means that one should not listen to backbiting. Ninda thai tyanti uthine jaiye. That's fasting. Fasting of the tongue means that one should keep one's tongue from saying anything bad or even slandering somebody. From both ways, control your tongue. Restrain. To fast is to restrain. Then comes the fasting of the heart, which means to keep your heart away from any kind of doubt. Protect your heart from the doubts. Then comes the fasting of the foot, which is to hold one's foot back from a wrong step. These are very important advices. And Mawla calls it, these are the advices for those who are courageous. To keep our heart from any kind of doubt, any kind of darkness, have knowledge of certainty, then eye of certainty. Elevate yourself on the ranks of the beliefs through becoming certain, have no doubts in your heart. And then do not be stepping into anywhere which is wrong for us. Somehow I remember one of the friend gave in one of the classes, that before being aware of true knowledge, they would go for dancing, worldly dancing parties. Mawla doesn't say don't have fun, but Mawla also says do not be forgetting why did we come to this world. So please do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying we should not have fun, but we have to weigh what kind of fun and when to have fun, which fun would introduce doubts or darkness in our heart. So stepping one foot on a wrong direction will make us go astray. So Mu'min is the one who is very strong in his or her fast. He or she protects or restrains herself or himself from any kind of wrong steps. Then Mawla talks about fasting of the hands. It's to keep all one's limbs away from treachery so that they may not do any evil. Protect your hands from any kind of evil act. Do not get involved in any ways where your limbs are doing something wrong. This especially applies to one's tongue, which must be kept from uttering lies. And there is no greater lie. Now, when Mawla talks of lying, we think of lying in the worldly sense, which tell children, do not be lying, be honest. But listen to this one. What is lying? The true meaning of lying. Mawla says, there is no greater lie than the denial of the existence of the Imam. Denial of the existence of the Imam, saying that he has disappeared. Allah has cursed liars who talk about such a thing. And then let's talk about Wajhi. What does Pir Nasir Khusro talks about fasting? So the batin of fasting is, our Pir says, that the hudud-e-deen of religion, they stop elaborating on the batin of Shariat. The batin of fasting is that they restrain themselves from talking about the batin. And it is mentioned in Quran too, chapter 19, verse 26. And this was actually told to Bibi Maryam, the mother of Jesus. When she was secluded and she was pregnant, she was told to fast. And Allah instructs her in the Quran, and He says, and if you meet a mortal, say, lo, I have vowed a fast unto the Beneficent, and will never speak this day to any mortal. If we really look at it critically, Allah is telling her to fast. And if we understand the batin, that the hudud-e-deen do not elaborate, do not talk about the batin. But Allah is telling her to say. So she's talking. Talking to who? Who is mortal. Now who is mortal here? Anyone who is not spiritually alive is mortal. Because physical life has no meaning. So here Allah is telling her to not be revealing secrets to the one who is not spiritually alive, who is living a physical life. And then she says that I vowed that I will fast and I would not speak. Very interesting verse. And Pir Nasir Khusro keeps talking about it, and he says the month of Ramadan actually is superior to other months. Why? There are 12 months. Out of 12 months, one is superior. 12 is the number of hujjats. One imam has any point in time 12 hujjats. And it's having 12 months in a year is represented by 12 hujjats in spirituality. Out of all those 12 hujjats, there is one who is Ba, who is the door, who is the supreme hujjat, Hujjat-e-Azam. And Ramzan actually signifies that he is the Wasi. So those who join the Dawat of Ta'wil, those who want to learn the Ta'wil, the Batin, they seek the reality of Shariat from Batin. So Shariat is superficial, the Zahiri knowledge, the Tanzil, the Batin is hidden, which is the essence, which is the insight, the essence. So those who are seeker of reality, they seek the Batin of Sharia. And it not from Zahir, but of course the Batin. So when we talk of daytime, day and night time, the day signifies Zahir, meaning Tanzil, and night here signifies the Batin, the Ta'wil. During the night time, it's dark, things are hidden. So the Ta'wil is hidden during the night time. Whereas during the daytime, everything is visible, but here the context is different. What is Zahir? It's Tanzil. Ta'wil is not visible. Ta'wil is hidden. So therefore, Pir is giving example of night because at night things are not visible. So during the daytime, when people are fasting, what they are doing is actually they are collecting sustenance during the daytime. And then they eat at night time. What does it mean? That they have entered the Dawat of Ta'wil. They listen to Zahir too, but they do not seek its reality from the face of Zahir. They are always seeking to know about the Batin, the Ta'wil, which is not visible, which is hidden. And interestingly, he gives the example of pig and goat. If we were to look at pig and goat, it is impossible to understand the meaning. They both are animal, they both have meat, protein, and they both are eaten. But as Muslims, we don't eat pig. It is very hard to understand why we cannot eat pig other than we have the instruction not to eat. But what is the meaning behind it? If you were to look at superficially, it's very hard to know why. But with intellect, one can learn why. And with your permission, I'll tell you why. So the goat is also animal, gives milk, gives meat, domestic animal. But when we talk of pig, if we were to leave it open, pig is the one who would eat its own defecation. Pig is also known to mate with its own cubs. These are morally, ethically wrong behavior. And therefore, it's prohibited in Islam. Now one can say that now we do not have any more those unhygienic, situations. But if that animal is left in open, these are the characteristics of pig. And therefore in Islam, it's prohibited to be eating pigs. In fact, in Christianity also, pork eating is not allowed. So there are groups of Christians, and there is one group of people who believe that pork should not be eaten. And it is because of the same reason why Muslims don't eat pork. So come back to our topic. Pir Nasir Khusro is giving us this example to make us understand superficially these two animals look same. But when you look into the essence, the batin, you cannot eat one animal, but the other you can. But if people were to look superficially, they will not be able to understand what is the difference, and they'll question, they'll argue. So those who are followers of Ramadan, who are believers and have understanding of Ta'wil, they maintain the spiritual fast. They maintain spiritual fast. They recognize the one who is the month of God. He is the one in whom the Quran is revealed by God. I hope you are paying attention. He is the one in whom the Quran is revealed by God. He is the one who can remove the differences and ambiguity from its parables. Quran is full of parables, and it is very difficult to understand what is behind those parables. But he is the one who can do that. In Quran chapter 2 verse 185 says, Ramadan is the month in which was sent down the Quran as a guide to mankind. Also, clear signs for guidance and judgment. So every one of you who is present during that month should spend it in fasting. So who is that one month? By the way, the month and the Ramadan by Pir Nasir Khusro is the month he talks about signifies Imam, and Ramadan is the title of Maula Ali. So Ramadan is the one who is well known to God, is the one in whom the Quran is revealed. And he is the one who shows the right path to the people. And he reveals the secrets and helps us distinguish right from wrong. And then in the same verse Allah says, and whosoever of you is present, let him fast the month. Meaning, whoever recognizes that rank, the asas, should hide his rank from the enemies of religion. Then Allah continues and says, and whoever of you is sick or on a journey, let him fast the same number of other days. Now, who does Allah mean by the sick or the one who is on the journey? Sick meaning those souls who have not found Ta'wil yet. They are weak, they are sick. They may choose to stay weak or sick, or they can become the seekers to find the truth. Remember, choice is ours. But this is the beautiful verse in the Quran, chapter 2, verse 185, which actually is explained by Pir Nasir Khusro. So according to Pir Nasir Khusro, he says, Ta'wil of fasting is one of the 12 months is the rank of one hujjat from among 12 hujjats of Natik. So out of 12 months, which are representative in religion as 12 hujjats, one of the hujjat is the higher ranking hujjat. And also the identity of the asas. Hujjats are pir. Hujjat is same as pir. Hujjats, the word hujjat is used in Persian, whereas pir we use it in Indo-Pak. So the asas, who is the asas, his identity should be concealed, and he is distinguished by his rank, just like Ramadan. Ramadan has the elevated status out of all other 11 months. And if I may tell you another story from Quran, which will make you understand and make you more curious to learn more, that in Quran, Allah talks about story of Yusuf, one of the most beautiful story, Qasasul Ahsanul Qasas, the most beautiful story, which is of Prophet Yusuf. He sees a dream that he is accepting prostration from 11 stars and sun and the moon. And he was a very young child at that time. He sees this dream. And later on, the Tawil comes and he understands what is happening. And just because of that dream, his life, he has to give lots of sacrifices in his life. He was the son of a prophet, but he was sold as a slave in a market, put into prison, where he was forgotten. So later on in his life, this Tawil comes, and we are going to talk about this Tawil because it relates to our topic, that 11 stars were the 11 peers, 11 hujjat, and he, out of those 11, there were 12 brothers. 11 were his brothers. So out of 12 children of Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salam, Jacob, one had an elevated rank, and that was Yusuf. And he sees that at a very young age. And he sees that 11 stars, sun and the moon are prostrating him. Meaning, he, due to all his sacrifices he gives in his life, the 11 hujjats prostrates to him, the Imam, who is represented as sun, and the moon, who is represented as peer, do prostration to him because he elevates his rank to that level. So that's what Pir Nasir Khusro is talking about, that when we talk of the hierarchy of religion, in any given point in time, there are always 12 peers. We may not know them. And in today's time, Piratan has been kept with imamat. So it's very hard to know who is the peer. As we all know from our recent past, that Pir Sabzali was a peer, but he was given that rank after his passing away from this world. And he was given all kind of difficulties and pains by the Jamaat because they could not accept him. So Pir Nasir Khusro says that the Tawil of fasting is that these higher ranks are there whose identity have to be concealed. There is another verse in Quran, chapter 2, verse 183. And it says, O you who believe. Again, it is only for those who are believers. O you who believe, fasting is prescribed to you as it was prescribed to those before you, that you may learn self-restraint. So it's not about physical fasting or eating. We have understood now very clearly. It is about when you know the secrets of Imam, do not be revealing it anywhere. But it is for those who are believers. And I recall this farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, the first farman. Imam says that there will be miracles open to all, believers and those who have half-hearted belief. They all will see it, but only believers will believe it. All these things are interrelated. So when Quran talks about, oh, who you believe, fasting is prescribed to you. Then Pir Shams in Salokomoto, verse 179 says, Sadgur kahere sage danaj dijiye ane dijiye Sadgur mukhe jaan. Wali ghat mahe Shukarwari Beej Fasting to pamsho moksh Didar. The true teacher, the true guide says, offer only pure charity and do it in the presence of the true guide. Pure charity Now, charity can be impure too. Charity is charity. But pure charity meaning is that elevated charity. The charity of your soul. When you are elevating your soul, when you are giving time and knowledge nazrana to your own soul, when you are purifying your own soul, then only you can give charity to others and help purify others' soul too. So offer only pure charity. Physical charity is but done by everybody, smiley or non-smiley. Peer is not talking about physical charity. And if you were to think Shukarwari Beej is all about fasting, all the religion and all the people fast. Why our fast is special? Because it is talking about pure charity. And do it in the presence of true guide. Presence of true guide? Again, is it a physical presence we are talking about? No. It is the recognition. Through the recognition in the batin, he is always present. Physically we can't see. We cannot see. But if he is present for us in our batin, it is very easy to purify ourselves and offer that pure charity. And after that, if you break the fast of Shukarwari Beej with Jamaat, will attain the vision and salvation. Once you have purified yourself, you have elevated your soul, you now see Imam present in your batin, your true guide in your batin, Mata and Pita both. Then only you can break the fast, meaning teach the Jamaat. So all can attain the vision and the salvation. Otherwise, you keep fasting. You are not supposed to talk about it. Then Pir says, Satgur kahe Shukarwari Beej je koi kal mahe tapshe, ane tapshe pure viswas, te jivne mukti thashe, ane sahi thashe amaro Didar. Whoever established the Shukarwari Beej in the present age and establishes with complete faith, his soul will attain freedom entirely and in truth will have our vision and light. Pir is talking about present age. Today. Pir could see future too. It is applicable today. With complete faith, then only we will be able to attain that freedom, that fana fil imam. Mutu kabla anta mutu. To fly our soul out of our body so we can have the vision and the light. Then Pir says in verse 173, Hete खान माहे थी निपना आज चकफत वेला माहे जान शुक्रवारी बीज नो फरमान छे पीर हसन कबीर दिन तेनो नाम रे. It is entirely for sake of love that he created from the origin. Entirely for the sake of love. Today, in the time of intrigue and inspection, there is a farman to fulfill the fast of Shukarwari Beej, and it was made by Pir Hasan Kabiruddin. It is truly for the sake of love. There is no other reason than love. Our creation is just because of that. Allah wanted us to recognize Him. So He created us. So today is that time to recognize Him, to fulfill the farman, to fast this Shukarwari Beej. Meaning, become so curious to find all the secrets, all the batil. This is the right time. So Chandraat on Friday. Now we all know that Friday is represented by Prophet Muhammad. All the days of the week actually represents a major prophet. Friday is the day of Prophet Muhammad, who was the Natiq, a major prophet. And Mawla Ali is his Assas, who did the Tawil. Chand meaning moon, meaning Hujjat, the supreme Hujjat, Hujjat-e-Azam. Raat meaning night, meaning veil, hidden identity, not visible to ordinary eyes. So Shukarwari Beej is the spiritual fast for those who accept the Dawat and recognize the supreme Hujjat who can take us to the secrets of Qiyamah. Who can take us to the secrets of Qiyamah. And again, I would remind ourselves of Farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, may our souls be sacrificed to this Imam. He did say this is the end time. He informed us that this is the end time. This is the time of miracles. So those who get to the miracles have to keep this secret. It cannot be revealed to those who are still at the level of believing in Zahiri things. Until and unless we become the seekers of true knowledge and seek through zikr o ibadat, ilm o amal, the true essence of our religion, then only we can get to the secrets of Qiyamah. Alhamdulillah. I'll stop here if anyone has any questions. Malai Madad.
Ramzan Roja is compulsory on us to keep Ramzan Roja?
According to Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, Imam Mustan Sibillah, we are supposed to fast 360 days. So I'm fasting today too.
Yeah, okay. No, but like Ramzan is like is compulsory for Muslim, right? But for us, it's Shukarwari Beej, and like they don't do Shukarwari Beej, but we do Shukarwari Beej. We do two times a year, right? Shukarwari Beej, and once is come in Shukarwari, one is come on Ramzan time.
So if you say,
as well. So we do two times a year. So we do Ramzan as well same time, or some Ramzan we do in some days of Ramzan we don't do. How we do in Ramzan?
Can I interpret? I think our Ramzan Roza is finished during the Imam, I forget the name, but during the Ramzan, Imam name is Muslim Sabla or something. It's not coming in my mind. But what happened during the vote, it was a Ramzan month and we won the vote. So at that time, the Imam said, today is your Eid. Between middle of Ramzan, we open our Eid, and that's why I think we don't keep them. Really fasting means not eating, but we have to control our 5 senses according to Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah. Eating, you can cover the face of the donkey or monkey, or they cannot eat, That doesn't mean they have a fasting. We are fasting. The fasting means even the Quran, if you go inside the Quran, it doesn't say don't eat. It says control your 5 senses. So it's come eyes, mouth, nose, and every other 5 senses. Whatever I understand, I'm not a missionary. Whatever I read, I let you know if you understand.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, it is. Today, even afternoon, I heard from Dr. Shiraz about the Shukarwari Beej. I'm hearing from you now. So I always keep Shukarwari Beej since I was very young age. Since I was about 8-9 years, I can keep him. Never missed it. Some reason might be, but I never missed it. But I didn't know that today I heard from Dr. Shiraz that he says that if we just don't keep a roza, but when we keep a roza, we have to say a lot of tasbihs and everything. But I was not doing that. I was doing tasbih, but not that many. But he said that's the meaning of roza, that we have to say a lot of tasbih all day. We have to keep saying tasbih. And that's what that is the meaning of it. And doing all the good stuff, keep, like you say, the eyes and nose and the ears and everything has to be good. Good deed every day, whole day, good deed.
I just like to make one comment that when we say as Muslims we do not fast, I don't agree with that because it puts us into problem. We are Muslim, but being Ismaili Muslim, we fast every day. We fast every day. We have to be able to say that. We fast every day. We do not miss a day from fasting. Zikr every day in quantity. We do watch our deeds every day. So it's not one day, either it's a Shukarwari Beej or is it the month of Ramadan that we become good, pious, and all other days we are not conscious of our deeds or we do not do zikr. We as Shia, Imami, Ismaili Muslims, we fast every day. And it is very critical for us to be very aware of it. And if we meet with our Muslim friends or Christian friends, we fast every day. Now, on top of that, if you choose to not eat, that's perfectly fine. If you do that during Ramzan, not Ramzan, Shukarwari Beej or not Shukarwari Beej, that's perfectly fine. But one is not the replacement of the other. Don't think like that. So we don't fast in 1 month of Ramzan because we have Shukarwari Beej. Logically, it does not make sense. We are saying we are Muslim, but we fast other days. I hope through this lecture, it's not about not eating. We talked about the meaning of true meaning of the fasting. I hope we paid attention to it and we understood what we are truly talking about.
Ali Madad Nimet, can I just come in here?
Please.
Okay, the lady said about Imam, which Imam, yeah? So it is Imam Allah Zikr Salam, and Imam Allah Zikr Salam said that Shariat said aage baro. So hence it summarizes whatever you said.
Yes, I agree with you, absolutely. Imam Allah Zikr Salam, and he lifted this Sharia from us that we are no more be following the Sharia. And we can celebrate the Eid, meaning we can eat. Absolutely right. But the reason I was telling Shabnam the way I was saying, yes, we do not follow the Sharia in that way, but we do follow the essence of this Sharia, which is to fast every day. So when we think in terms of the reason we are not fasting in the month of Ramadan, because we are fasting on 2 Shukarwari Beej, then it becomes conceptually wrong. So we are not replacing one with the other. We are saying this Sharia was lifted, meaning that we were given the true meaning of fasting and we were instructed by Imam Mustansirullah, by Mawlana Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah that we are to fast every day. Now when you talk of Sharia, yes, Imam lifted that Sharia during the time of Imam Allah Zikr Salam and he said, celebrate, break your fast and celebrate Eid.
Ali Madad, Niamat Appa?
Walai Madad.
I have two questions. They're very quick. So first one is that if I were to do Shukarwari Beej and also, of course, stay away from the bad deeds all day through. And if I'm not fasting, but I'm doing the other one, like making sure that I control my anger and everything, which one has more sawab?
Sawab is always in doing more. More the merrier.
So if I were to fast, it would give me more sawab?
Yeah, because you are sacrificing, right? Remember, intention matters the most. So if you were to just measure, let's take an example. If somebody is diabetic who cannot fast, but the intention is so pure and their deeds are pure, they are doing so much zikr, Imam is someone who is so gracious, so merciful, ek ka sawa lakh dene wala hai. So he or she may get more sawab than an individual who is not strong in that intention, but fasting and also watching the deeds too. So it's very hard to quantify sawab in that way. But yes, the more we sacrifice, the higher the sawab, if that's what your question is.
No, yeah, that's what I was trying to ask. The other question is about the timings. Like some people do it, like they do right after Abe Shafa. Some people go till 6 p.m. So what is our farman, our farman hidayat is for that?
For us, it's when we go to morning Jamaat Khana, we drink, we eat sukrit, we niyaz, that's it. From that time to the evening time. Dawn to dusk is our timing actually. Dawn to the sunrise to sunset, right? But for Smileys, when we go to Jamaat Khana, we have our shukrit, we have our niyaz. That's the last thing we eat or drink, and after that, fasting. We are fasting until the end of the day.
When the sun sets.
If you were to be living in Pakistan, for example, Pakistan, India, it's very common that where it's after the dua time, at the Maghrib time, because they truly follow from dawn to dusk. Here I have seen that we break fast at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. because otherwise, Friday Jamaat Khana is late, so it's a very different situation. Ismaili tariqah being the dynamic tariqah, our life is very simple and easy in that way. There are no concrete that we have to do this, we have to do this. It's the essence, it's the intention. There are people who would not even eat sukrit because they've drank the niyaz, after that they cannot eat sukrit. Whatever it is, it's here which matters. Some people will say, you cannot eat sukrit because you are fasting. Niyaz pi liya, that's it, done. Me, I would eat sukrit too and niyaz too. It's Imam's blessings, jura hai, barakat hai, blessings hai. And then you start your fast. And if you can go until Maghrib, if your dua is at Maghrib time, you are okay. But here we live in a different kind of world. Our dua is much, much later on Fridays after Maghrib time. So as the sun sets, we drink niyaz and break our fast. Pir Hasan Kabiruddin actually talks about in the Ginans that the rozas should be 12 hours. But remember, it's the essence, it's the mugs, it's the tawil which matters, not the hours. Our religion is so dynamic, we go with the time. We live in USA or Canada, our timings change, the way we break our fast is different than if we were to be in Pakistan, India. Our religion is dynamic. So if we are looking for concrete rules which would apply same here and same there, we will get into difficulty. Focus on the essence that matters. We are not Shariati. Our religion is Batni religion. We need to focus on the Batin. Maulali Madad.
I have a question. Like, if you can highlight on the Pir Hasan Kabiruddin has, what was my understanding that I've heard in one of the wise, another missionary wise, that he has sacrificed his bandagi for our salvation to say thank you. We keep the Shukarwari Beej. So can you highlight on that, please?
All our peers have done that to teach us. They were our teachers, right? They were my Bab. They told us they worked very hard for our salvation. And due to that, Pir is saying, do this now. Fast. Do a good deed. So meaning what they are saying, in other words, the way I have reached to salvation, you do follow me too. Sacrifice. That's what Pir is saying. If the Pir had worked hard and he had salvation and he had taken so many with him, the world, the time doesn't end. People have to keep on sacrificing, walk on the right path to give themselves nijat and take all other souls with their friends, their jamaat with them. So that tradition has to be continued. That's why Pir is instructing us allegorically, follow this, do this Shukarwari Beej. And I'm sure I can tell you, when Pir was telling us to do this fasting, he was hoping that we would look into this fasting. Why did he say that to us? Because he had gone through salvation. By following one physical act, we would become interested why of it and go into the essence of it. Directly in that way, there is no relationship, but 100% related. It is only through fasting, controlling our deeds, restraining ourselves, that we will also walk on the path of salvation.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Shukra Mola.
Niamat.
Maulali Madad.
I had a quick question. when I take care of these elderly people, they have wisdom. So one of the things I was told was if you are at home on Chandraat or beach, try not to go out. Is that true? Not to go outside?
On Chandra?
Yeah, Chandraat and beach.
Is it possible, Yasmin, can we do that? Does it make sense to you?
Well, if you're working from home, then you would avoid going, right?
Yeah, but
I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I would focus on essence, right? I would focus on essence, and logically it doesn't make sense because today we all work and we have to do things. If there's Chandrat, we got to go to work too, right?
Garere, and say your salwats, and you do your cooking, and then of course chore rojo, right?
Yeah, in one way or the other, focus on zikr and ibadat and not be involved into kitty parties. That's what they are saying.
Yani Madad, can I ask a question?
Please.
I understand after everything you've said that it's about the batini aspect of fasting. But we still have to keep the physical fast, like in the case of Shukarwari Beej. I have extreme stomach problems, and I have difficulty keeping roja. What does that mean for me in terms of the blessings, or how do I gain that benefit if I can't keep those rojas?
Salima, it's very easy because you will set the intention. And you can sacrifice. See, not eating, restraining physical fast is not eating. It's a type of restraining, type of sacrifice that you will tolerate hunger pains. You can make different intention that you would say 1,000 times salawat, 10,000 times, 100,000 times. You can make it as hard as you like, which would give you satisfaction that I did give myself same amount of pains if I were to be not eating 3 meals or 2 meals a day. You set that intention, you set that bar, and you do present that mehmani.
Thank you.
Our religion is beautiful. Our tariqah is just so dynamic, so amazing. It's just there's answer for everything. What we need to do is to go deeper into meaning and to the essence. Do something with complete understanding of it. It has to be a big thing, one thing, but it has to be with complete understanding. When you said salawat, if you want to say salawat, understand the true meaning of salawat completely and then say it with love and affection, with girya wazari. Zikr can be done, TV is going on and I am doing zikr. My mind is in TV, my tongue is saying the zikr like a tota. That's not going to help me. So whatever you do it 100% right with the heart and mind into it. Anybody, any other question?
Can you talk about the true meaning of salawat since you mentioned it? Can you just talk about that briefly? Thank you, please.
Let me try. So, let me tell you first, there are beautiful lectures I have, we can share with you. In Urdu, in English, we can share with you about salawat, but let me just briefly tell you. Allahumma, ay Allah, salli Allah. So salli means there are two meanings in salli. One is blessings for sure, durud, blessing, but it also means to follow. So, ay Allah, remember I have learned my knowledge in Urdu, okay? So I'm going to speak in Urdu for me to be able to say it in English. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Ay Allah, Muhammad or Muhammad ki aal ke piche chala. Oh Allah, help me, let me follow the Muhammad and his progeny. So the one understanding we all have is that we are sending salawat, the blessings to Muhammad and the Ali Muhammad. Muhammad himself is Rahmatul lil Alameen. Does he need our salawat, our blessings? No, he doesn't. The reason is the word salli actually has the meaning of follow to. So for us, when we are saying the salawat, we are saying that ay Allah, Muhammad or Muhammad ki aal ke piche chala. So we are seeking the mercy and the blessings. And of course we are sending durood too. It is the command of Allah in the Quran that we do need to send durood, blessings to Muhammad and his progeny. In fact, all the angels are commanded by Allah to send durood, blessings over Prophet and his progeny. So that's there too. But the other meaning is that we want to follow them. How do you follow Prophet Muhammad and Imam, his progeny? How do you follow? By truly recognizing them, by truly understand the batin of these darjat. So it's a very broad concept. Very briefly put, we are praying to Mawla that I want to become a seeker, Mawla. I want to become a true seeker who wants to follow you so I can understand your manifestation. I can recognize your manifestation, Mawla. The way you wanted me to come to this world and recognize you, Mawla, I want to have that level of recognition, Mawla. Help me follow you. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. So that's how you do Giryazari. Have that understanding in the mind and then you say salawat. Then there is a desperation in the heart. There is a desire. There is a pleading going on in our heart, and then we are saying, oh Mawla, help me follow you. If I say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, that's like a parrot saying it. If you teach a parrot salawat, the parrot will say it. But what is the intention here? We as human, when we say something, it has to be said with true understanding, with our heart and mind into it. Otherwise, we are just doing superficially in quantity, numbers. It doesn't mean anything. When we are doing any zikr with true understanding and the meaning, it would pierce your heart. Because you would realize how small, tiny being I am, how far I am from my beloved. And then you will do the zikr. You will have tears in your eyes because you understand how hard it is, how distant you are from your beloved. I hope that helped.
Absolutely. I've never heard that take on it before. I got to say, you're a brilliant lady. May Mola accept all your seva and give you lots of barakat. Thank you for that. I've never understood that the whole idea about why we have to pray for Prophet Muhammad when he's the one praying. Like, I don't have the words. I don't have the words like you do, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, tiny little me is praying for like Elijah Prophet. Like, I never understood that. So thank you.
Shukar Mawla. Any other question?
I have a couple questions in the chat. One question is, my understanding was that in order for Pir Hassan Kabiruddin to get salvation for the infinite soul, as our Imam wanted, the Beej fast became one of the Niamat. Can you comment on this, please?
So I think I did speak about it. So for the salvation for the infinite souls, the Pir wanted us to fast. It became one of the niyamat. I hope we understand the meaning of niyamat. It means blessing. So when the Pir actually took so many souls to salvation, he told us to fast too, as it is a glad tiding. Remember, the fasting, the act of fasting is to restrain yourself from physical sins, from spiritual sins, from intellectual sins. And if you elevate your rank and get to the secrets of Imam, then you do spiritual fasting too. All these fasts are actually in the rankings. A child, a young adult who is 14, 18 years old will do probably physical fast. When we'll have more understanding of spirituality, then probably do spiritual fast. So all these fasts are actually an indication for us to get interested into the meaning of it. Today, we all are gathered to understand why should we fast. And we do understand it is one of the blessings. Pir Hassan Kabiruddin told us that it is one of the blessings that you do that because there was salvation of the so many souls. But he took those souls at that time. He did take them through the salvation. And today, Symbolically, we are fasting for that one day, Shukarwari Beej, tomorrow. But fasting, will it take us to salvation? That should be the question we should be asking. And that's what Peer is actually indirectly telling us to do. Why should we fast? If we are superficial believers, if we are Bhore Manes Revo, meaning that follow the blind faith, don't ask question, just tell me what to do and I will do, that's also level of belief and that's okay. But when Peer is telling us to do something, there has to be a reason. And he made these, rituals, let's say dua, let's say chanta karavi, let's say Shukarwari Beej, any ritual you pick up, there is a meaning behind the zahir. And all that we do it, and we have grown, we are adults here. Why am I doing this? Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? Children do ask. I don't understand the meaning of it. When you tell the meaning, then they do it with the heart. So the reason Peer told us to fast is to actually keep on doing the ritual until we are grown up and ask question. Why did my Peer ask me to do that? What is the true meaning of it? And then we will become the seekers of our soul to get to that salvation.
Appa, another question is, who is Hujjat-e-Azam? How can Shukarwari Beej help understand the recognition of Hujjat-e-Azam? What are the practical things to reach that higher understanding? Who is Hujjat-e-Azam in today's time? And why is it needed to know who is Hujjat-e-Azam?
Subhanallah. Very good question. But let me start from the last question. Why is it needed to know who is the Hujjat-e-Azam? If we are seekers, if we want to know what does Chandraat on Friday means, we want to find out. That's why we are here. That's why we are asking. To get close to the secrets of Imam. Imam is full of secrets, full of miracles. Physically, we see Hazar Imam. He looks like us as a human. But he is not just ordinary human. He is full of batni miracles. If we want to get to the batin, to understand all the miracles Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah has talked about it, then we do want to know what are these secrets to get to the batin. Now, what do we do to be able to practical things? What do we do to reach to that higher understanding? Love that question. And I say a blanket statement for that. Zikro ibadat ilmo amal. When I say zikro ibadat, meaning it covers 24 hours. So it involves ibadat at Nurani time, the discipline of doing ibadat, understanding of your Isma Azam, how to recite, how to practice it during the daytime, how to purify yourself during the daytime to be able to sit during that 1 hour to do ibadat. And then during the daytime, do the zikr. And we just spoke about salawat. And if we are seekers and if we are true lovers of Imam, we do zikr abundantly. And no zikr we would do without the understanding. So imagine we have variety of zikrs, and with each zikr we are shedding tears of love. We are standing working probably, but our heart is shedding tears, crying, prostrating in Imam's huzur and asking his closeness, his love. We are pleading in our heart when we are not able to do it physically. And when we are able to do it physically, we can sit down on the floor, go on doing sajda, do zikr, aloud, quiet in our heart. Everything is attached to meaning, zikro ibadat. And then comes ilmo amal. Amal means deeds. 24 hours we are watching how we are behaving, how we are thinking. Most sins are committed in our thinking, our thoughts. So we have to control our thoughts. And then comes knowledge. Very crucial point. Without knowledge, it is very, very difficult to elevate ranks. The first level of certainty comes from knowledge. Ilmul yaqeen, knowledge of certainty. If we do not have the true knowledge, it will be very difficult. And alhamdulillah, somehow nowadays we have lots of options with knowledge. And even with knowledge, we will have to weigh what kind of knowledge. Knowledge which touches your heart, your mind, your soul. That's the knowledge you want to seek. And then to continue to focus on batin. Continue to keep learning Batni knowledge to understand the true meanings of everything you do. Along with all the deeds, sabr, shukr, everything. If that becomes our practice, these are practical things. Allah is so merciful, He will come to you and give you the recognition. There is no doubt about it. He will not leave you. If you are working so hard, sacrificing, He loves souls. He will not leave us behind. We need to show that discipline, that commitment, that desire, that plea, that girya wazari, that we want you. And then all these concepts are not difficult. We will get to all the secrets of Hujjat-e-Azam. Alhamdulillah.
One last question is Chanta different on Shukarwari Beej?
So Chanta is a topic in itself. Chanta is for the forgiveness of our sins. Mawla is so merciful, He has given all these rituals for us to again get reminded that Chanta, when we are taking Chanta, we are supposed to recall every sins, every thought we have committed sinfully, and then seek forgiveness. So when we are going for Chanta, we should be crying like, I do not know how to, like so intensely. How sinful we are, we have to recall and then take Chanta. We may recall all the sins which we do physically, but how about spiritual sins or intellectual sins? We haven't gotten to the recognition. If we haven't gotten to the recognition, meaning that the physical is still the barrier to our batin. Physical is the door to batin, but until we are not able to overcome the physical limitations to get into the batin, meaning that physically we are still so sinful that we cannot get to the batin. So we have to be seeking forgiveness of our sins so we can get to the batin of the Chandraat too. So every ritual is given to us to remind us, seek forgiveness. A true moment when seeks forgiveness, in the worldly ways we also say, if you say sorry once and if you don't change yourself, don't be saying sorry because it doesn't mean anything. How can we apply that on ourselves when we are talking to Imam asking for forgiveness every month? Does it not apply to us? What we say in the worldly ways?
Niamat Appa, inshallah. Yali Madad.
Malali Madad.
I just wanted to ask you if I'm correct in thinking that as part of the path to seeking higher understanding, seeking understanding of batin, that all that you had mentioned so powerful, and that underlying all of that is that foundation of dasond. Am I correct to say that without that, really, it's the foundation, like the foundation of a house? The whole house will not even stand if there is not thorough, complete, and total submission of the dasond, which purifies us and purifies everything in our lives. Am I correct in my thinking?
Yes, you are correct. Dasond is a very big test on people because it involves money. Wherever money comes, it's hard for people. Yes, dasond is a very important point. When I say ilm or amal, in amal, dasond also comes. So I don't say it individually, but we all are educated, accountable. Our parents have taught us good, our imams have given us good, great farmans that how critical, crucial is dasond. Yes, without dasond there is no purification. That is the right of imam. In order to get his mercy, if we are not even committed to the rights of imam, that is his haq. how can we even ignore that or not be disciplined or accurate in that? That's his haq. I'm hoping when I talk to you, everybody, I hope that, okay, it's just in knowledge we are lacking, so let us give us knowledge and reminder that, all these things are needed. But the sound is something so crucial. We have been taught as children that that's the paya of our religion. There is no purification without the sound. There is no doubt about it. But the sound is not the only thing. Remember that. But it's so interesting when we talk about one thing, and that means that we give importance to one thing and other thing is not important. Let's say dua, or let's say Chandraat, or ibadat, or Isme Azam. Everything is important. Everything pushes us up. So if we are lacking here, we need to bring ourselves up here. We are lacking here, we need to bring ourselves up here. Everything matters. Any other question?
There are a couple more things in the chat. A follow-up on the previous question. Can you please comment on the 3 niyamat that our Imam gave that the Peer asked us to do for salvation of souls?
So you're referring to Ginan. If I don't have Ginan in front of me, I don't remember 3 niyamats. For me, I would quickly say, is the physical, spiritual, intellectual. Our lives are at 3 levels. Is that the niyamat you're talking about? Because a person who is mentally disabled has the body, has the soul, but doesn't have the akal. So Allah did not give him one niyamat. So we are blessed here. We have physical body, we are alive, we have time, we have choice, the power of free will, we still have that. We have soul, and that's keeping us alive, connected to Imam, and we have our intellect. We can sharpen our akal so we can elevate our soul. So these are 3 huge niyamats he has given to us. Alhamdulillah. But if you are specifically talking about some Ginanic verse, I need to have that in front of me to be able to give that answer. Are there any sins not forgivable? No. Imam's mercy is beyond our imagination. Every sin is forgivable. I do want to tell you, friends, that we are having this Girya Uzari session on Saturday. We are celebrating our Valentine's Day. Our Valentine's is our Imam, and we will do some zikr and Girya Uzari, present our mehmani. So please join us. I know there are very few friends left, but whoever left can tell others. We will have our Valentine's Day celebration in the evening on Saturday, the 13th, from 7:15 to 9:15, inshallah. And we'll do some batni dancing, batni singing through zikr and Girya Uzari, inshallah. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, thank you very much.
Yali Madad.
Allah bless you.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, stay blessed.
Yali Madad.
Thank you. God bless you.